flat out as the red lights go off. He tries to go through on the inside. Oh, we've got fire! Tension is incredible. Such a fierce battle, both fighting like gladiators for victory here.
Hello everybody, after just a 3-week break, we're back for another great 24-hour series powered by Hankook event, and this time we're at full throttle for a full 24 hours. Hello everybody, I'm John Hindhoff. Get ready to join us for an adrenaline-fueled journey through the twists and turns of the PORTIMAO circuit as top racers and gentleman drivers battle it out in the ultimate test of skill, strategy and stamina. From sunset to sunrise, we'll witness the relentless pursuit of victory in this iconic 24-hour race. With non-stop action, dramatic moments and fierce competition, this race promises to keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. The season is moving along at pace. This is already the 4th race of this year's 24-hour series powered by Hankook and the 3rd on European soil. Mugello and Spa were brilliant races, a delight for the drivers, teams and us fans, endurance racing at its finest. After this stop on the Portuguese Algarve, we'll be heading to the Misano World Circuit Marco Simoncelli in Italy, and then we'll crown the European Series champions at the famous circuit Barcelona Catalunya in Spain. The challenge this weekend is the famous Autodromo Internacional de Algarve just inland from Portimao. Speed meets precision in the heart of Portugal's stunning Algarve region. This is a world-class racing circuit renowned for its challenging layout, sweeping corners, thrilling elevation changes, and it's a favourite for drivers and fans alike. There's a technical blend of fast and slow corners, ups and downs, changes of elevation, one of the most interesting racetracks in Europe.
I love to be here. It's just an amazing track. I also love for sure the notch life. And this is quite similar. I always call it the small notch life because uphill, downhill, you have also blind spots where you come over a hill. You can't really see where you exactly have to brake, especially the challenge is now in the night here. Yeah, it's just pure fun. It's always nice weather. The Creventic is always one of my favorite events. It's always racing with friends, great competitors. It's really like gentleman driving, also pro drivers. For me personally, as a gentleman, I have the challenge maybe to see how is my driving and how is my speed compared to a pro driver, especially to the Herbert guys and Pierre Kaffer. Yeah, that's the main challenge, and yeah, we always love to be here.
Fantastic circuit, it's really, really cool. I'm a big MotoGP fan, so I obviously watch all the MotoGP stuff, and they raced here early in the year. I knew I was racing here, so I did a lot of studying when MotoGP was here, and spoke to a few of my friends that race GTs in Europe, and they said, yeah, you got to go to that track. So when Steve and Brendan Grove asked me if I wanted to come and join them, I was, yeah, tell me where, and I'm there.
Oh, I really love Portimao because it's a unique track. It's most of the time always good weather, and it's a notch life in small. So I really enjoy it, and especially with our Audi, it's really great to drive here.
Oh, it's definitely top 10. It's because the up and downs from the track, the circumstances pretty intense. It's not easy to drive fast here, but it's nice, and it's changeable. It's comparable to not so many tracks on the planet, so I really enjoy to drive here.
And here's what we'll be racing on this weekend. 4.653 kilometres, 15 corners, up and down, round and round. That's the Autodromo Internacional de Algarve. Almost a 1 kilometre start-finish straight. And you hit the brakes as you come over the brow. Difficult downhill braking area for a medium-speed right-hander at the first corner called Primera. GT3 machines almost at 165, 170 miles an hour, 270 kilometers an hour. Build the speed back up again through the kink at turn number 2, and then it's Lagos turn 3, heading uphill over the brow through into the second timing section, and then you're already back downhill again. On the brakes for a near 180-degree left-hander, and then building up speed, going up the hill through turn 6 and 7. Very steady entry to the next one. That's turn 8, Samsung. Another brief uphill charge out of that corner. The track drops away again on the approach. The flat-out left-hander named in honour of the motorcyclist Craig Jones. Then it's a gentle climb before you reach the double right-hander called PORTIMAO. That's the highest point of the circuit. It's a 30-degree or so right kink and then a tricky 90 right, the track dropping away. The GT3 front runners picking up speed again, getting to almost 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour, throwing the anchors out hard one last time for the left-handed hairpin at turn 13. Wind the power back on and a short blast to the long right-handed off-camber turn number 14, that's Sagra. And then the final corner, Gallop. Build up the speed, make sure that you stay on the track on the left-hand side at the exit, and then you're back onto the start-finish straight, and that's the 2.8 miles of the Algarve International Circuit. Do that another 700 times, and you'll be somewhere near the checkered flag after 24 hours. The first real showdown at each weekend, qualifying. We've divided the session up into 3 parts as usual, 15 minutes each, 3 drivers per team get onto the track, they put down their fastest lap times. Best lap time per driver counts, the team with the fastest average lap time on pole position. It's an excellent start for Team Hoffa Racing. Alexander Prince with the fastest time in Q1, a 1:45 flat. That's 0.3 of a second faster than Sven Herberger in the Santalog Junior Team Audi.
I think the approach was for sure to be maybe near to the top of the chart, but we are now on the top, but I was really struggling. I think also the wind changed a lot to the last practice we had. And then I didn't manage well to get the tires in the right temperature. So yeah, I think it's okay for us, but honestly I expected a bit more from the performance. So yeah, let's see what Kenneth and Max can do, and then we hope that we maybe stay on top, at least under the first 3. So that would be amazing for the start tomorrow, yeah.
Drama for Hoffa Racing in Q3. Max Partel has a problem and the car is slowing down. This will be game over for qualifying. They'll start in 5th place tomorrow. A long night for the mechanics ahead. The team telling us fuel pressure problems. Good qualifying session for the team who have travelled the furthest to be here this weekend. Grove Racing are from Australia. Stephen Grove, the team owner, has a secret weapon for the race here in Portimao. 5 times Bathurst 1000 winner Garth Tander. Together, the Australian squad have got 3rd position in qualifying. Santalog Junior team with their Audi number 18 and former DTM driver and winner of the 24 Hours at the Nürburgring, Pierre Caffa, has put the team in provisional pole position. Just one driver left on the track who can pose a danger to Caffa and the Santalog Junior team. Jason Hart in the Black Herbeth Motorsport Porsche number 91. Currently in 2nd, he's pushing really hard to beat the Audi team. But a red flag has stopped the mission of Jason Hart. That's the end of Q3. It'll be 2nd place for Herbeth Motorsport. Pole position for the green and black Audi of Santalog Junior team, the only squad that had an average lap time under 1:45.
Well, you never can be really comfortable, and if you have seen in a really last lap from Herbert, the 91 was really pretty close to us. Yes, it was a really entertaining qualifying, let's say it like this, especially Q2. For Elia, it was really difficult to get a time there, but my run was quite clean. And I was just a bit surprised about the wind change what we have, because turn 1 is now incredibly late, and the hairpin, as you have seen, the most of the cars went far and not on the idle line, so that was quite a surprise. But in the end, yeah, we are really happy I think we are the only one who are 2 times on pole here in Portimao. So it's huge to our car, and we are really looking forward for the race. And thanks to all the Sentilog crew and my teammates and all the partners who make it possible that we can race such a beautiful Audi R8.
As ever, it's extremely tight in the 992 Porsche class. Red Camel, Jordan.nl, right to the front again. Ivo Breukers with both Rick and Luke, his sons, and Fabian Dance this weekend. An impressive performance, 3 perfect qualifying runs, and it's a pole position for them in the 992 GT3 Cup car. In GT4, the Lithuanian team GSR Motorsport are on pole in their Ginetta G56. Just one car in the GTX class, the French team Vortex V8 with the new Vortex 2.0. Still has the mighty V8 Chevrolet engine in the back. An excellent performance, 8th place overall in the rankings. Welcome to Saturday, race day, and as usual, the final moments before the start of any 24-hour race, the atmosphere is electric. Teams are making any last-minute adjustments, drivers exchanging final words of encouragement, mechanics making sure every nut and bolt is tight and every part of the car is ready for the challenge ahead. It's the moment when time almost seems to stand still, but the anticipation is building. Let's hear from the pole sitter, the Santilog Junior team.
Today is a big day, and yeah, I'm on pole. Well, the team is on pole, of course, and I have the pleasure to drive at the start. So it's going to be an interesting one. I mean, this particular track, I think turn 1 is quite interesting. Our strategy is 24 hours is a long race, so we won't go that much risk. And yeah, as I said, if someone pushes from behind or I have a better start, like coming off from the grid, I let them pass, and that's okay for us.
Let's hear from our newcomers from Down Under, Grove Racing and Brenton Grove. What's their strategy?
No, I mean, we're here to have fun as well. Something like Dubai, we do that because we go for the all-out win, but we want to have fun and enjoy the experience as well. I think the young guys in Matt and I will probably do all the night because the old guys can't see in the dark. And then they'll jump in before and after the night. So look, it'll be a challenging night for Matt and I because we'll probably be one after the other all night. But at the end of the day, that's our job, and if that's what makes the team fastest, that's what we're going to do. Yeah, probably 18 hours is the point where we actually start going. The key is not to lose time in silly strategy calls or driver mistakes through today and into the night. But look, once it gets dark, we just want to make sure that we're on the lead lap and we're safe. And then once the sun comes up, I think you'll see us kind of go bananas. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully we got some pace and we don't have to push that hard tomorrow, and hopefully we're already at the front. But look, we're not really that worried about if we lose 10 seconds in the first 3 hours. It is what it is.
Ralph Bourne is one of the most experienced drivers on the grid. He's adding to that this weekend. He's listed in both of the Herbert Motorsport Porsches.
No real reason about it. Just to drive on 2 cars, it's a new experience. Well, there's a difference in the weight, and so there's also a difference in the setup. So they're similar cars, but a different setup.
Remember, Hoffa Racing had problems in qualifying. They've been working hard overnight, so is it all sorted?
For the first 2 days it was quite well for us. We had to adjust, especially now also with the wind again. So I think for the Mercedes it's quite a good track for us. We can push for the endurance, for long runs. We didn't focus so much on the qualifying. We also had a little struggle yesterday in the quali, so we are quite happy now to stay here. And yeah, I think we can push a lot and keep up the pressure on the front guys. So yeah, let's see how they handle it. It was a little problem with the fuel pumps, so that we had to stop the car just for safety reasons. So sadly, Max couldn't finish his quali part. So yeah, now it's everything solved and we focus on the race.
Nick Damon heading towards Red Camel Jordans.nl, and Paul Trustwell, he's the one man on the grid who knows what the drivers should be doing during the 24 hours.
Yeah, stay between the white lines, don't go over track limits. We're discussing when we're going to come in for the first pit stop and what we're going to do with the first pit stop. So it's the usual thing with Creventic races. You've got to stay out of trouble. It's a 24-hour race. ultimately you've got to put the amount of fuel in the car whenever you can. So yeah, we just try and do the best we can. Don't make any mistakes, don't get any penalties. I mean, I'm not going to jinx it, but yes, we did have 2 bad races. This is going to be the race where we put everything right. We've kind of said the championship's beyond what we can do here, but if we can win this class, it's a huge morale booster for everybody on the team. As you know, we're a team of enthusiasts here. Everybody's here because they want to be here, and we, as I say, we try and do the best we can.
Here's the grid for the Hankook 24 Hours of Portimao. Audi from Santalok and Porsche from Herbert Motorsport on the front row. The newcomers, Grove Racing, third in their first outing in the series, ahead of the second of the Herbert cars. They'll start on row 2. Hoffa and E2P Racing on row 3. Red Camel Jordan.nl are the best of the 992 Cup cars in a very creditable 7th overall, with Vortex the best of the GTX in 8th. Cars are on their formation lap. 24 hours on the clock in perfect conditions here in the Algarve. Nice couple of lines as they come towards the red lights which go out, and we are racing for the Hankook 24 Hours here in Portugal. It's a brilliant start from Ralph Bourne in the black and gold Porsche, already ahead of the Santalok Audi. That's the second of the Herbert cars coming into third place, the red and white Fat Turbo liveried car. So Ralph Bourne leading. Looks like the second car got put a little bit wide there, and for a moment Herbert were 1 and 3, but now 1 and 5. Everyone has got through the first couple of corners. Now down towards VIP. Torres for the first time, another downhill braking manoeuvre. What a start for Ralph Bourne. And Santalok dropping back away from that Porsche. The second of the Herbert cars back up into third position, and now challenging for second as they come to the line again. Down the inside, Grove Racing on Santalok at VIP. Torres unable to keep it on the track there. Might have to give that one back. Track limits on the overtake. Front of the field, Ralph Bourne with his teammate as rear gunner, if you will. Backstop in the 92 car. What a fabulous livery that is. Paying tribute to the 1994 Dower Porsche winner at Le Mans. No team orders from those 2 cars, particularly not in this early stage. And Robert Renard making the inside pass again at VIP. Torres. That's a good overtaking manoeuvre. Good spot to make up positions, heavy braking area downhill, and even with the ABS it still requires a lot of technique. Ralph Bourne now coming under pressure from the Hoffa Mercedes-Benz. It's Kenneth Haya behind the wheel there. Another textbook overtaking manoeuvre. Oh, well, as I say that, I've cursed him, and goes long. Bourne goes back through, holds second for the time being. From the drone, Kenneth Haya, a little bit ambitious. He got to the apex, but pulls the car up. Good job, he kept that one out of the gravel. Kenneth Haya once again with Ralph Bourne in this enthralling battle for second position early on, and he's gone through just as he comes to the final corner. He's staying to the right, though. I think he's going to pit. Yes, he is. So just into second for a couple of 100 metres. I don't even think he'll be scored in that position, but quite clearly the car working much better. No reoccurrence of the fuel pressure problems from qualifying. Here's the number 91 Porsche into the pit lane. It had retaken the lead, staying out a bit longer. It's new Hankook tyres, but Ralph Bourne staying in for a double stint in the heat. That's a 39-lap stint for Sven Herberger, coming in from 4th after just over an hour. And this is going to be new Hankook tyres and a new driver. That's Celia Earhart getting in. Plenty of experience going behind the wheel there for the Audi crew. Let's catch up with the other classes. There's been a lot of action in the GT4 category. W Autosport with the number 491 Toyota GR Supra up from 3rd to 1st position. and have a 10-second advantage over the pole sitter GSR Motorsport. The Vortex V8 are on a bit of a lonely mission here in the GTX class. Only one car on the grid there, so they are looking at overall positions here. Get amongst the top cars. 992 class pole sitter Rick Breukers in the red Camel Jordan Dottenell Porsche has held on to that and pulled away. Bad start to the European season with the new cars. 2 races to forget in Mugello and Spa. By contrast, Red Ant Racing won both of those races. Mugello and Spa, you couldn't ask for a better start to their European season. Everything going to plan, I would think, for them so far. 2nd position behind the orange red Camel Jordans. That's 7th overall for the red car. Right up behind them now, the black and light blue car of Swiss team Orchid Racing. They started way back down the grid and are closing in on 2nd, up 8 places. The only TCE car is the French PRV team. It's a 308 Racing Cup. Might not be the quickest car on the track, so they are looking at their rearview mirrors quite a lot. Christian Goltz and his team, major motorsport enthusiasts. They just want to see the checkered flag and get as many laps as possible. At the front of the field, Ralph Bourne still behind the wheel of the Herbeth Motorsport 91 and has 1 minute and 21 seconds on Elliot Earhart in the Santa Lock Audi. So Elliot Earhart has handed over to Pierre Caffer, and he's trying to close down the leader. Ralph Bourne did a great double stint. It's Jason Hart now behind the wheel of the Herbeth Motorsport Porsche number 91. Still with 40 seconds lead, and Caffer's not really gaining. The Porsche has good pace today. After the early pit stop with the puncture, the number 92 Fat Turbo Herbeth Porsche has worked its way back up to 3rd position. The green and blue Krone Aviation RPM Racing Porsche in the garage on the hijacks. Looks like they've got a fluid leak out of the front left. Maybe something to do with the radiator?
Yeah, unfortunately we had a little contact with the leading car in class, and now the left radiator has a little leak. We just have to swap that, repair the car, and we need another 10 minutes and then the car will be back on the track. So it's an easy fix, but unfortunately lost some time.
The GT4 class pole sitter GSR Motorsport has fought its way back into the lead and then had to come into the pits. That's the car, the G56 Ginetta. The engine cover is off and the mechanics are having a look there. Fuel pressure problem is what we're hearing from our pit reporters. Bad news for Ginetta, good news for AMG, and the Bagheera ZM Racing 416 takes the lead in GT4. Well, that's been a feverish half hour's work for the GSR Motorsport crew. Fuel pressure problem solved. 15 laps down on the Bagheera ZM Racing AMG, but still 19 hours to go. Lucas Sugliano and the Vortex 2.0 is in the gravel. And there's been contact with the back of the car to the barriers. It's code 60 for the recovery as the marshals do a fabulous job to get that car back onto the hard standing. Into the pits for a check over for the 701. The rear wing is loose, we're hearing. Now, let's see if we can find out what caused the accident. Here's Philip Bonnell with Diana Binks.
They are looking right now what's happened with the brake. That's all that I know for the moment. And he's very hot, yes, exactly. As you know, we are very particular because we are a team, race team, and we are a manufacturer too. This is a new car, completely, that we launched in Barcelona last week. It's completely in carbon. The engine stays the same, the V8 Chevrolet. We will change it. We work actually on a new engine, probably for next year. We don't I can't say anything right now for the moment.
The Vortex team are being very thorough indeed. The whole car being dismantled. It looks like an Airfix kit right now. The battle is really heating up for third position. Brenton Grove versus Sven Herberger. That's Grove Racing AMG versus the Audi of Santalok Junior team. Drama for the GT4 leader. That looks like a suspension collapse on the front end. There's still air in the Hankook tyre. Adam Lacchio bringing the car back to the pits. He's nursing it home. My goodness me. This is huge, and the front wheels now stop turning. There's some work to do here in the pit lane for the Bagheera ZM mechanics. A quarter of the way into the Hankook 24 Hours of the Algarve, and it's a 1-2 for Herbert Motorsport. The 92 car, the white car, back in the lead ahead of the 91, the black and gold. Grove Racing from Australia in the AMG in third. Then it's Santalok's Audi E2P in their Porsche. The best of the 992 class in sixth position now, having a scrap with the 903. It's Red Camel and Red Ant. Hoffer Racing in eighth. Stephen Grove has ground to a halt in the number 10 Grove Racing AMG. This is the third place car overall. And, oh, he's got it started again. The lights have come on. Right, what's happened there? No, it's stopping again. It's stopping again. Goodness me, what drama for a car that had promised so much in this race. Well, the Grove AMG has come back to the pit lane, but not under its own power. They're working on the back of the car. That's the fuel tank and the fuel pumps. Is this another fuel pressure issue for an AMG? Well, good work by the Grove team. They look like they're getting ready to go back out. Fire at the back of the car. The extinguishers are out. Garth Tander, arms folded. This doesn't look good for Grove. The garage door is coming down on the Grove AMG. They're out of the race. Here's some better news from the pit lane. The AMG GT4 416 for Bagheera ZM. Lower suspension arm replaced by the pit crew in 40 minutes. The gap between Bagheera and the leader in GT4, the Toyota GR Supra of W Autosport, is 13 laps, but there's still more than 17 hours to race. It's all about Herbert Motorsport and their two Porsches at the front of the field. They've been swapping the lead on slightly different fuel strategies, but they're well ahead of the pack. Ralph Bourne has been reinstalled into the black and gold number 91 Porsche. He knows exactly what to do to win. He's done this plenty of times in 24 Hours Series races. Consistent fast lap times, stay out of trouble. Santalok Junior team number 18, third place for them at the moment, still in contention. Pierre Caffer is pushing hard. Incredible lap times, sometimes up to 5 seconds quicker than everyone else. It's 3 laps from second to third and 4 laps to the leader. It's the usual battle at the front of the 992 class from Porsche, Dutch team Red Camel Jordan and the Belgian Red Ant Racing team. Pit stop for what was the leader in class and 5th overall. Ooh, little stutter there, hasn't cost too much time. So on the pit stops, it is Red Ant Racing leading the 992 class. As we go into the dusk, they have 2 laps now on redcameljordan.nl. And there's good news if you follow big V8s, the French Vortex V8. After almost 2.5 hours in the pits, that car's been completely rebuilt. That is real endurance racing spirit. It's been a picture-perfect day so far, and as the sun sets behind the mountains here on the Algarve, we'll move into a slightly different rhythm of the race. We're heading into darkness, and the true challenge of a 24-hour race starts right here. slight problem for the Vortex is they have a broken right rear light, and this is not a standard car part, of course, so a bit of improvisation from the French team to keep that car legal and get it back out on the track. Also an illumination issue for the W Autosport Supra. Their door panel is not lit up, and you have to have that so that the marshals can identify the cars. We're into the rhythm of the night with the two Herbeth cars at the front of the field. Still the red and white number 92 leading. The sister car about a minute and a half behind the number 91, the black and gold machine. In the 992 class, Red Ant Racing have preserved their 2-lap lead ahead of Red Camel Jordan.nl. And in the GT4 category, W Autosport, number 491, a comfortable margin of 12 laps ahead of Bagheera ZM Racing. Let's have a more detailed look at the standings in the Hankook 24 Hours of the Algarve, with double trouble for Herbeth. Well, double trouble for the rest of the field after 9.5 hours. The two Porsches ahead of Santalog's Audi, then the Red Ant Racing number 903, 4th position overall. E2P having a quiet race but still in 5th. Red Camel Jordan.nl, Hoffer Racing and the second of the Red Ant Racing cars make up the top 8. No rest for the teams. A 24-hour contiguous race. They'll be driving and racing all the way through the darkness hours. Bom dia! Good morning. Sunday has dawned. The sun is up. We've got 4.5 hours still to race, and the weather is absolutely glorious again. Oh, is that the... Yes, that might just be the checkered flag and the finishing line that I can see in the distance. Before we get to today's action, let's just pick up on what's been going on overnight. Quite a lot through the field, but not really much at the front. The two Herbeth Porsches have been doing Herbeth Porsche things. The 91 and 92 cars circulating very consistently. The laps being ticked off. This is exactly what Herbeth have done down through the years, and that's why they win so many 24-hour races. The pit stops have been great, the driving has been good, and the pace has been excellent. As far as the rest of the field's concerned, well, the Santalog Junior team are in 3rd position. Now, because we have had some retirements, E2P, Hoffer Racing and Grove Racing, the Audi squad are not looking over their shoulder anymore. They're only looking forward. There's 6 laps of a gap to 2nd place and now 8 laps to the leading Porsche from Herbeth. Different mission for the Vortex, still running. Remember, they rebuilt the car yesterday. They started in 8th. That crash after 5 hours put them back, but they have been running well overnight and they're headed for the checkered flag. We must have a word about the number 125, the 308 Racing Cup, the Peugeot from PRV. It's got a few battle scars from the overnight hours, but they are up to 13th position, and Dai is in the pits with Christian Goltz.
My time, I'm the slowest of the team, but it was great. It was just great, a little bit hot, but that's part of the game. So very nice, really a very good experience. The first 24 hours, the 3 of my friends, we were in Barcelona 5 years ago with Creventic, and we didn't succeed. At 2 a.m. It was the end in a wall. So very happy, almost at the end. A great moment, great organization. Was a long trip because we are over 2,000 kilometers away in the northern of France. And with little trucks and trailers, and it was not that easy, but it was okay. and we had a lot of problems on the Wednesday, but we solved them, and the car works wonderful.
So everything is perfect.
In the 992 Porsche class, Red Camel Jordan.nl now 17 laps down on the leading Red Ant Racing 903. The Dutch team had problems overnight and had to come back into the pits. Down in third place now, actually, behind the second Red Ant Racing team. Let's find out from Paul Truswell what happened.
Front left wheel problems, possibly caused by the brake just getting a bit too hot. Broke some wheel studs, got that sorted, put the wheel back on, went out for a stint, and then when the car came back in, the front left wheel wouldn't come off. So we had to force it off. Having forced it off, we then had to renew the hub, new wheel bearing, sent him on his way again. There's nothing like a difficult session like that to get Luke fired up. So Luke's gone out, and I think he said about 8 laps quicker than Rick has gone. If you've had a big brother that was always quicker than you, well, Luke showed how quick he can go. The car is clearly quick, as I say, Luke's doing in some astonishing laps. But we're 7 laps down on the slower of the 2 Red Ant cars, and I think 17 laps down on the leading Red Ant car. So we're still in third place. We'll go for a podium. We're not giving up, you know. Something might happen to the Red Ant cars, but they slowed down. But something might happen. We've still got a long way to go. We'll keep pushing. It's a tough race. I said to Nick on the grid, 24-hour racing is tough. But that's why we do it. You get to the end, if you can, and you feel like you've achieved something. If you win, it's even better. Red Camel have had some great results. We did the Middle East Trophy. We won 3 races in a row out there. Haven't had a great start to the European season, but hopefully we've done this one a lot better than we've done the earlier races at Mugello and Spa. We've got Misano coming up. We've got Barcelona after that. So there's still plenty to chew at.
Typical never say die attitude from Paul and the Red Camel Jordan.nl team. 4 hours to go. It's been a really difficult period for the leaders in GT4W Autosport. First, they had a mechanical issue. They came into the pit lane. It took them just about an hour to get it sorted. Tried to send the car back out. Clearly the problem wasn't sorted, so back to the garage again. This, of course, has cost them the lead in class. It's Bagheera ZM Racing back on top. Elia College in the pits with Dai.
It was alright. I mean, it was during the sunrise, so it was tricky with the sun. In some places it was difficult to see, but we've been a few laps behind, but our competitors seem to have a problem, so we're in the lead now. So it was a long night for sure, but I think we're going good. We're going stable and consistent. So just under 4 hours to go, and so far we're in the lead. Well, we had a small car problems twice where we lost a lot of time, like half an hour, and then again a little bit later we had some small problems, but it wasn't as big, but we lost some time there. So it was for sure an up and down race, but we've been pushing through, and the mechanics have been working really well. They've been it's been not an easy job for them, but they've been going really good so far, and yeah, let's see.
Well, good news for Bagheera is bad news for W Autosport. That car still in the pit lane. The Toyota being worked on. Diana Binks has moved down there to find out from the team manager what's going on.
Yeah, we know that we have a problem with the fuel pump since few stints, but we don't want to change this before the end of the race. But that's sometimes not what we would like to have. And we have an issue. We have some scissor on the engine, and we need to go back in the garage. We change something, But as we don't know exactly which part was it, we changed everything. And there is an electrical issue also. Yeah, the mechanics react really quickly. We remove everything, we change everything because we have foreseen this issue. But probably we cut a cable, electrical cable, during the transfer, during the switch.
So now we've caught you up with what happened overnight. Let's take a look at the standings as we head into the last 4 hours of the Hankook 24 Hours here in Portimao. It's still Herbeth 1 and 2 with Santaloc in 3rd, Red Ant Racing in 4th and 5th. 1st and 2nd in the 992 class, ahead of Red Camel Jordans in 6th, Orchid Racing for the 992 class in 7th, and Homeguard Racing are in the top 8. Although we often feature the drivers more than anyone else, strategy and slick pit stops are absolutely key if you're going to win a 24-hour race. Here in the Hankook 24-hour series, a maximum of 4 mechanics allowed to change the tyres. They've got the yellow armbands on. The one with the green armband is the driver change assistant, essential to get those seat belts on. And it's not just the Hankook tyres that have to be changed several times. At least 1 brake change during the 24 hours, and that is discs and pads. That's a big moment for the Lithuanian team and their Janetta. The mechanics worked really hard to get that car back on track, and it stayed out the gravel bed. Concentration now, please. Vincent Kolb in the leading. Porsche has been off the track. My goodness, that was a close call for the number 92, but he's gathered it all up, continues to lead the motor race. He's got to put that behind him. Well, actually, everybody else is behind him at the moment as he heads down towards the first corner, still in the lead. It's intact for the moment. It's all still looking good for Herbeth Motorsport with the 91 car still in 2nd place, and they are well ahead of the Santaloc Junior team in 3rd. It's not been a perfect night, in fairness, for the Audi. The team telling us that there were a couple of clutch problems overnight that's rather hampered them, and at the moment they're not closing the gap on the 2 Herbeth Porsches. More drama in the GT4 class. Bagheera Racing coming in for a standard pit stop, but there's work going on the left front. That's where they had the lower arm issue earlier on. Remember, the suspension broke, and that looks like it's failed again. That car's going back into the garage. They've got 21 laps lead over the Toyota from W Autosport in 2nd, but that is now coming down. Can the lead change again? Santaloc Junior team have been battling a clutch and gearbox problem throughout the darkness hours, and it's had to go back into the garage again. They'll make the adjustments and get it back out there. Pierre Caffer will be trying everything he can to get closer to the Herbeth Porsches, or maybe just to hold on to 3rd. Appropriately enough, here at Portimao with the elevation changes, it has been a bit of an up and down race for Red Camel Jordan.nl. The wheel and suspension problems overnight and into the morning, and it's not been plain sailing for Ivo Breukers. Here's Nick Damon with him now.
Yes, no, the last 20 laps were dangerous as well. I nearly collected the Santaloc Audi in turn 15. But the last 20 laps are really, really difficult. My left rear tire was gone, was giving up, and it was more like a drifting championship than an endurance race. Yeah, yes, of course. It's the first thing is giving up, of course. And our tire pressure was slightly a little bit too high, also due to my handling. I was not taken care of in the beginning. Then the temperature went up and the pressure went up, and then it started sliding, and then it getting worse. It's getting worse. I know that, but I knew that I had to do the stint until Fabian can finish the race.
All going very nicely for Red Ant Racing. 1st and 2nd in the 992 class. Lucas van Eindhoven has just got out of the car at that last scheduled pit stop. Nothing to complain about there. It was a lovely stop, all going nice and easy. Here's Nick Damon.
No, it's definitely not that easy. Yeah, we focused on tire management and managing to get the car back in one piece. So just focusing on the points that I know on the circuit and just bring it home. Yeah, you definitely can go to the end now. So just waiting for Yannick to bring it home. He definitely will, and then it's time for celebrations.
Problem for MRS GT and the 988 Porsche. It looks like the left rear wheel has come loose there. This is perfect timing. We'll have a code 60. That'll give everybody the opportunity to come in for their final pit stops. Here's the leaders, the number 92 in with the red and white car. They're having a good look at that same side on the Porsche. I wonder if there's been some information swapping backwards and forwards between the Porsche teams. As is tradition in the Hankook 24-hour series with Creventic, one team gets their reward even before the checkered flag comes out. This weekend, it's the Bagheera ZM Racing 416 taking home the Spirit of the Race Award for their tireless motivation to get their car back on track again and again after a few failures. Well done to the entire team. Let's take a look at the leaders in class with the checkered flag looming. And it's the number 903, Red Ant Racing. First position in the 992 class, ahead of the sister car. What a performance. Third double victory in a row. It is the Bagheera ZM Racing GT4 winning not just the Spirit of the Race Award, but they'll be taking the class victory as well. Vortex have got to the end. 571 laps completed. 15th position, dropped down a few from their starting position of 8th. But that is remarkable after that really big crash and the rebuild in the first 5 hours of the race. Last but not least, Team PRV, TCE class winners. There will be 13th position overall in the Peugeot Cup car. Hope we see these guys back again. Herbert Motorsport have been right back on form here at the Hankook 24 Hours in the Algarve. The number 92 with just a couple of minutes left on the clock. It's Robert Renat bringing the car to the finish line. Oh, hang on a second. He's slowing down. And last lap was about 30 seconds too slow. What is going on here? 4 minutes and 45 seconds is the gap. What is Robert doing? Is he back timing this? I'm not sure. He's been passed by the Peugeot of PRV. This is not up to pace. Well, I'm not sure whether this has been arranged, but Scott Noble and Sven Herberger, second and third, have also slowed down, and effectively we're going to have a photo finish with the way the cars come across the line. Red Ant Racing joining the winners as well as a class winner. Portimao perfection then for Herbert Motorsport and Red Ant Racing, both teams with a 1-2 finish. Celebration and emotion on the pit wall here at the Hankook 24 Hours of Portimao.
Yeah, sure, we had some issues with the car for the last stint, so we told Max he should just bring it home. He should reduce the speed lap by lap, so yeah, it was critical, but in the end we made it. Sorry for the bad end in the race, but we couldn't avoid it. Now we had some noises coming from the back, so we don't know if it was the drive shaft or something in the rear suspension or the gearbox. So we said to him, we have a good gap to the second car, to our sister car. We just wanted to bring it home, and yeah, he did it really good for his first race.
Second place for the black and gold number 91 Herbert car. Here's Scott Noble.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. First time for us coming to Europe here, for Jason Hart and myself, and got a heck of a team with with Ralph and with Ian, so I'm just so excited to have a great team. And the course was so demanding physically and technically. Such a joy for me, and I learned a lot, so it's what a joy. We walk away with an AM win and a P2 overall. Couldn't be more happy, and thank you to Portugal for just being great hosts, and thank you to Creventic as well.
Nick Damon presiding over the podium ceremonies. The conclusion of a fantastic endurance race. Determination and skill have prevailed, and the reward is a first and second for Herbert Motorsport. Santalok Junior team preserving their third position after problems. And now, the champagne, the symbol of a hard-earned victory. Confirmation of the final results after the Hankook 24 hours here in the Algarve. A first and second for Herbert Motorsport, 92 from 91, with the Audi of Santalok Junior team overcoming their driveline problems to stand on the podium. Red Ant Racing duplicate what happened in the top class in the 992 Cup category, 903 from 904, with Red Camel Jordan on the podium, just ahead of the 902 of Holmgard Motorsport, and in 8th position, the Swiss Orchid Racing team. And that's it as far as the 24 hours of Portimao, powered by Hankook, a race that had it all. Drama, heartbreak, disappointment and joy, relief and elation. A moment of triumph for Herbert again. 535 laps, 72% of the race led, but 29 different leaders at the front. We'll be back for our first ever race at the Misano World Circuit, Marco Simoncelli in Italy. I'm John Hindhaugh. See you there.
Ready to go flat out as the red lights go off. He tries to go through on the inside. Oh, we've got fire! Tension is incredible. Such a fierce battle, both fighting like gladiators for victory here.